Academy. That's a double entendre. If few people get that reference, then you're the real ones. You're the real
You're
ones.
the real ones.
I'm a real boy!
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nerd Bubble Podcast. The first, last, maybe a stuff around from last week. Who knows? But
Never.
is Mr. Connor Esther. How are you?
I'm all right. I even dressed up for the occasion, as Paul McGann might say, but none of you can see that now. So
America.
that's a shame.
That one.
Yeah, that's one.
You're not Steve Rogers. Oh no, that's the whole fucking
You're not Bruce Banner.
You're not a brick. Or maybe you are. Yeah. Is this going to be a JPEG? Is this going to be a JPEG? It's an AVI. Oh, this is the fun game of the podcast where it's find a picture to change your icon to because the internet's not working, but nothing's a JPEG. This is a JPEG if ever I've seen one. It's a web. Fuck! Oh, come on. I just want Sam. I just want Sam in my eyeball.
Sam the man.
Yeah, there we go. So we did our Captain America last week, which went down quite well. We had a lot of fun with that. So obviously, it will be doing spoiler-filled and spoiler-free to start off with. Thoughts on Captain America: Brave New World.
Yeah.
But before then, we will get into what many journalists call the news.
Oh.
I didn't have anything prepared. I've been trying to fucking get rid of this horse for like 10 minutes.
My horse in the copyright road. I'm gonna
How's your week been? Desktop.
Just back in the real world. I want to be in the MCU. Still, I want to be back in the cinema February the 15th. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Had some time off. See that man, that gorgeous man, that profile picture man.
The man with the plan.
Yeah.
The Star Spangled Man.
Anthony Mackie man. Captain America man.
Okay,
we're back.
we'll do that for now.
All right. I even dressed for the
Oh my god, I
occasion.
thought he was going to strip. Oh shit.
Well, now you say it quick before the signal goes wrong.
This is actually chat roulette. Get your cock out and play Uno. Amigo. You've heard of sport call. Now get ready for penis call.
Whoa.
Doesn't make as much sense. But yeah, you've been good. I've been all right.
I've been good.
Yeah.
Yes, you've been all right and I've been good.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
You say so.
Yeah. Stuff. Yeah. Have you seen me post anything yesterday or
post?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't see me post anything?
No.
But then you are a man who's less and less on the internet these days.
Well, exactly. When it's film related and I'm on the internet 24/7. And to avoid spoilers though, I don't do that to myself, and neither should you. Don't do that. Go into things as blind as you can.
Go blind. No, don't do that. That's horrible.
Well, you'll go blind March the 4th. If it is March the 4th for Charlie Cox. Charlie and his Omegle Cox.
Charlie and his Omegle Cox.
That's what I've done. I've rewatched most of season 1 of Daredevil, and that's got me hyped. That's now the next focus of my life.
I had a Daredevil trailer before the Captain America, the 4th film.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was
I didn't.
Trailer before the trailers.
Oh, fine. Yes.
I'll show you this. The audience don't you see it.
Oh,
yeah.
I did not see this.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. I can't say. That's MCU spoilers right there. I can't talk about that.
It's going to be a busy couple of months.
Well, you could say there's a new dynasty around.
But yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, that's basically.
Oh, nice. No, genuinely, I didn't know that, so that's kind of caught me off guard.
There you go.
So we'll have to make more Marvel jokes.
We'll have to pre-record some stuff for this summer, but it kind of coincides so we can. I'll message Mike because I was thinking maybe we could do in preparation for the Fantastic Four, which releases
it's on me. January the 25th.
It's July or something.
I meant July. I had it in my head, but I said the wrong month. July the 25th, not fucking January.
Oh my god!
Jesus, I'm panicking.
But yeah, around July.
July,
So then maybe
yeah.
we could like pre-record some looking at the Fantastic for the previous movie, so we could do
Absolutely.
the Tim Story stuff and Fan Four stick.
If we have to.
Yeah, there you go.
No, if we have to.
Mhm.
Can we do Roger Corman 1994?
Can we do it?
Is that worth
Me and you take him in a fight? Probably not. You might. I'll help. I'll fucking hinder you. But oh, the speakers ain't even on.
Oh no, damn
God,
it!
how will I hear myself back?
Oh, so hang on. Have we gone deaf? And now,
No, we're not going deaf. The mic works because the mic was plugged in.
oh.
It's just the speakers weren't on.
But now,
So
turn
then
the
we-
speakers up, people.
Crank it up to
Party
11.
people. Yeah, mega loud.
This is in here.
That is in there. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, almost ready to go. So, basically, because of stuff I'd moved around, and I said like the other week or something, I've now got all my fucking consoles plugged back in, getting back into them big time. And in terms of, I've always been the Lego guy, but I've got so many Lego games that I've not finished. But there is one elusive
A big one.
Lego. It's the
Multi
biggest.
mega
It's multiversal,
big
really,
project.
isn't it?
Yes.
There is a Lego game that I have never owned because they now no longer
They don't.
sell it.
They don't.
There might be some old thingies in game.
Possibly.
We'll have to do.
Not even like the starter packs.
Maybe we'll have to go and have a look
Hmm.
because I'm such a Lego completionist. Thankfully, this gentleman here owns Lego Dimensions.
Me again. Yeah, I know, right? 10 years out of date. But no, yeah. I can't remember when the last pack was. Like 2017, I think, is when the game last really got a bit of content update.
That's when it finished as well. That's when they stopped.
Well, basically, yeah.
By
They did
28, yeah.
they did story packs, and then they pretty much did one wave after that,
Yeah.
and that was it.
There's level packs where it's like just like a level or so. There's story packs that are basically like add-ons.
Expansions, yeah.
So what we need to? How many figures have you got? Have you only got the starters?
No, I've got a chunks. I've got a few. I've got a few, but then that's the thing. Me back in 2015 hadn't seen XYZ, so now having seen X, Y, and Z, I can't name them on top of my head. Now I kind of want them from the film point of view. Like I'm missing, say, like the Gremlins pack, the Goonies pack.
Or the Goonies is an achievement based.
I've got the level packs. I think there's only maybe one level pack for Adventure Time I haven't got.
Oh, okay. So we're not as bad off as I thought.
But like Sonic.
Sonic
I'm sure I've got Sonic.
Yeah, because there's a story, because there's basically Lego Dimensions is a Toys to Life game, similar to your old Skylanders and things like that. But it's
Disney
Lego,
Infinity.
basically, yes.
Yeah.
And it launched late 2015, and by 2018 it had stopped. Purely because Lego games are very popular. But this Lego game was the fact that it was so expensive to finish.
Just a little bit.
I mean, there was also add-ons that had nothing to do. So we're going purely achievement based because of streaming and stuff.
Achievements.
So what I've done
We
is
want trophies to fill in today.
I've compiled the list of
The list.
of Lego games that I have left to play.
Okay.
We can obviously switch between your account when you've got to get things, but I want to perfect all the Lego games. So out of the ones I've got left, I've got not many good ones left.
Oh, no.
I have ordered off of eBay a £15 because you can't fucking get it digitally anymore. Xbox 360 copy of Lego Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Because I needed that one and I've heard nothing but great things about that one. And I'm playing,
Mm.
you know how I got stuck on The Hobbit like 10 years ago? Me and Lyle have been playing that of a night time, and we finally literally breezed through, got past that fucking bridge because it's like you've got to collect building material. And I literally, at that point, I was like, well, I just give up and then just stop playing the game for 10 years. Back, I'm in it. So I've ordered Lego Lord of the Rings. I've got to finish. Literally, I've got 3
You still
achievements.
can't get the DLC, I think, for Hobbit or Lord of the Rings.
No.
They were delisted a
Yeah.
while ago.
Yeah.
Shame.
But
Not that it was anything major. It was just more characters and more weapons. I think
Yeah.
for that game.
that's fine.
Mm.
In terms of, well, they never released the Battle of the Five Armies stuff that they were going to do because it was you could play the first 2 games and then gone. I'm surprised they've not done a Lego Middle Earth collection a la like Harry Potter or Skywalker Saga, because I would play through all of that just to get more fucking gamer score because I'm a cheap bastard. Out of the ones I've got left, I've got like Lego Worlds, Lego Ninjago Movie, Lego Movie 2.
Lego Movie 2, yeah, for me.
Did I say Worlds? Yeah, DC Super Villains, which is apparently really good. Batman 2 and 3. I've literally got 3 achievements left of Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, I've got about 10.
Skywalker Saga. I've
Got a
got
handful
on disc,
left.
not started it.
Okay.
Force Awakens, got that,
Did it?
not finished it. I think
Okay.
I started it. I got a bit of the way through it, but fuck knows, we'll have to get into that. Yes, I've got quite a lot of shit ones. But Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, I'm probably about halfway. That's the thing. I would like do a game do a Lego game start to
Do
finish.
the story.
Have like a game in between for like the grinding purposes of Lego, because you just get fucking bored of them games.
Obsessed.
And then would go into another one.
Mm.
But then I'd sometimes make the mistake of going straight into another one. I think that's what done me in with Hobbit. I kind of went from Lego Movie into that one with not a gap or not really a game in between. And then I got to a point where I got stuck and went, fuck
stuck
it.
in Middle Earth. Yeah.
And I went, fuck it, which is a shame because I would have probably I would have breezed through that and got through to Lord of the Rings quicker before it got taken off the store.
Pirates of the Caribbean is the big one for me. Still to this day, I can't get past. Well, I have gotten past Curse of Black Pearl, but even with the movies, I haven't seen the rest of that franchise, and I haven't played much of that game. So that's the big one.
That's
for me.
one of the best Lego games.
Damn it!
Honestly, one of
Damn
the
it!
best. Purely because it's a shame because that's probably due for a re-release because it's not got the fifth one in it.
No,
but who really cares about that? But that's kind of because there's the Mumble ones. And then when they started doing the talkies in in Lego Batman 2,
2012 was.
And then Lego Lord of the Rings was the film clips in there, but it was like actual voice, like it's like Mark Hamill and all that in Lego Batman 2. And then I think Pirates of the Caribbean is the last mumbly one, and it's like it feels like the last of the breed. Like it's so fucking good, and it's a lot of fun, and the character roster's not to the point where it's like. Like the humans in Lego Jurassic World, where you're kind of like, we're just running out of characters, but you've got the dinosaurs to kind of balance that out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I like me some dinosaurs.
I love the Pirates of the Caribbean one.
It's a shame you can't play as the ships. I know you can get into
you can't play as a shit.
As a shit, as a turd.
Yes, we've got a few of them, so that'll be a thing, an ongoing thing. Lego Dimensions will probably be something that we stream over a long period of time because it'll be us getting to grips with the game. Doing the packs, knowing
having a little board between us where we have to literally take
hold hands.
Hold hands at the figures and then put one on the board and take one off, and it'll be funny to just.
And any packs that we have to source will be basically off what achievements we need, so that we can both absolutely wipe this.
Smash the game,
yes,
completely.
But yes, other than that, that's the thing I want to do. I've downloaded Great Circle, not started it yet.
Oh, the Great Circle. Of Harrison Ford.
I've got Bluey because that's an easy 1000G apparently, but that's on Game Pass. I need to finish that before that ends up coming off.
I need to go back to that other game on Life, High on Life.
I do because that came off of Game Pass a while ago.
I
was on a roll with it and just that was the Rick and Morty game, wasn't it? I've got Top Spin 2K25
tennis.
Yeah.
Hey,
because
big tennis.
I used to play Top Spin 4 back in when did that release? Like 2010.
Yeah, I want to say something like that.
Love that game.
But did they honestly not do anything past that game? Because I remember seeing Top Spin 4 forever and ever, but there was nothing
now we got 2K25. But there was two different versions. I could buy just the Xbox One version for £19, or for the £21 I could get the Series X and the Xbox One version.
Yeah.
So I got to play it twice. Lego Hobbit, look at this fucking gap in achievements. Are you ready? So the first one.
Yeah,
2nd of August 2015.
Yeah.
10th of February 2025.
Jesus.
But I'm gonna finish it. That's the aim, that's the goal, that's what we're gonna do. We spent 15 minutes talking about Lego. But what other games you want us to stream? Because we're literally ready now. It's then just finding a day in the week that we can both semi-regularly do, because there's also a thing on Twitch to stream every day at some point. So
while we're on
one stream on a Monday, a Tuesday, etc.
While we're on that subject, I don't know if you got any notifications or whatever on like the podcast email or anything, because I did set up a Twitch through Xbox, but I thought it originally was just under my like gamer tag or whatever. And originally, I think through the Xbox One days, I don't know if it was when the Xbox One X came out, you could literally just hold double tap the middle button and press X or press whatever button to stream. So
yes,
I,
then they
yeah,
switched it from Twitch because you
to
could
some to
snap
like
Twitch, and
their
it was their version of it, wasn't it?
upload studio or something.
Yeah,
and then
upload,
since
yes.
upload, it then became something else. But it's gone back to Twitch. But so shout out to myself, Pasty Con. You'll see an Alien. What the fuck's the game? Alien Dark Descent on Game Pass. I was literally just mucking around with my friend. He wanted to see me kill the alien brood motherfucker. I definitely didn't die. He wanted to watch me live, so it's basically our logo.
Yeah,
just pasty.
You
like,
should have logged into the Pasty one.
No, well,
I should have given you I'll give you the
well,
thing.
I thought I had my own, but then when I actually linked to my email and stuff, it was under Pasty Con. I'm ratting myself
from
out.
when you like age your old
previously.
X accounts. And
Exactly.
things like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just did it. Yeah.
I'll send you the thingy for that if you want to have a
Yeah.
rock with that at some point. But yeah, that's cool, man. Getting your feet under the table.
It was just a
getting some
test.
practice
It was
in.
just a test stream. It weren't. Yeah.
I can't wait to do it.
Three viewers. I did it for one friend, and I had two random strangers. Who's like, whoever you
This
are,
man,
whoever you are.
market research. That's what he is. That's his finest. Oh, well done, man.
Yeah.
There's some other. Yeah. So like, fucking Lego Star Wars. I've literally got. I think. Complete the game 100%. Collect all the mini kits. Oh, fuck off! I thought I'd done that. Collect all the gold. It's literally just all those bits. Yeah. So like the battle fucking royale thing. We got to build all the cannons on the battlefield.
Oh, what for that? That is Lego Worlds.
I got to do those in the Clone Wars, like the battle.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Marvel Superheroes 2. I'm way off. About halfway. 49 out of 75. Yeah, there's some fucking add-on levels. I've basically got. I think I finished the DLC levels. Them crappy secret achievements, and then like the grinding. Incredibles. That was okay.
I didn't finish Incredibles.
You should. It's okay.
Achievement-wise, I think I did the characters, but then I still need to get the bricks and everything.
Batman, yes, because that was released before there was trophies and achievements, kids, and then they were retroactively added in later.
Yes.
Harry Potter, I've done countless times. They're about to re-release it on the Series X and PS5, so that'll be another 2,000 gamer score that I'll be getting.
Can't complain.
Nope. I missed the day. Like, if I'd have done it like earlier days, like when you could still then get the 360 versions of some of these games, I'd have done Lego Marvel twice, but I don't think I've got it in me anymore. I mean, I have, but I've got less energy as time. Force Awakens, like that. Fuck that game. In retrospect, it's pointless because they never. I think if they'd have done a sequel trilogy one, and then done a Skywalker Saga, then fair enough, because then you would have had a game of each
generation. Yeah.
But now, Indie Classic. I need to do Indie 2. Indie 2 I need to do.
Indie
I've got
2.
nothing. I've not even downloaded it. It's £8. I should buy it now before it.
Lego Dial of Destiny. Where's that game?
Well, people have said, well, do we get a Lego Indiana Jones game
Like collection free,
and then have it as all 5 films? And then you could do Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Oh, you can't you?
Yeah, like they could be
Because they
the
had that
DLC.
bonus level in the first, didn't they? Yeah, that's true.
Ooh. Star Wars TCS. Jurassic World was actually a good one. Lego Avengers, basically a B-Tech version of Lego Marvel 1.
Yeah. MCU before it became great in Phase 3.
Lego Movie video game. Lego Marvel Superheroes 1. The first genuine game that I 1000 G'd. My last achievement was
2015.
2015.
10 years ago. Nearly 10 years ago to the date.
There you go. That is how we do it around here. 10 years and we get there in the end.
And I'm always angry. That's an achievement of my life.
He's always angry. There we go.
I'm always angry, folks.
But
in case you didn't really know.
Anyway, Lego will happen. Other games will happen, obviously.
Let it go, people. Let it go.
Do you want to watch us play tennis on the internet? It's okay. It's just like it's one of them. I'm not big into the 2K games like WWE and NBA and PGA and all that.
Yeah, I'm not into the rest, but WWE for obvious
reasons.
Obvious, non-obvious reasons. For long-time viewers.
I assume that would be the better version because, like, it's creating a character doing all that, and that's more on brand with WWE. Whereas it's like make a tennis player from scratch, go to the shop and buy an outfit. Apparently you can buy houses in it now. I've unlocked the ability to buy houses. That's the thing.
In this new 2K25 WWE game, bro, we're on the subject of buying houses. We can go on an island now and buy our own clothes and make our own wrestler. We're not quite at the house. No, we're not quite at the house stage, but we can. We can go to Nike. We can go to, I can't remember the other brands.
can do like brand deals and stuff.
Yeah, there's like 14, 15 branded partners that put their actual merch in the game. But I can't think what they are on top of my head. It's all American. It's not ones that I know over here. But Nike is the one that comes to head straight away. But the island, it's the equivalent of go and create your house and do tennis shit, but on an island.
Yeah.
From the sounds of it, it's the same kind of it.
Imagine if I could make John Cena play Rafa Nadal.
Jesus.
And he serves.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there's like one of the achievements. I don't know if it's buggy because so for some reason I've done the Xbox One version first when I should have, and I'm playing the one version on my Series X, and it's like this is a bit stupid of me. But
I don't think it normally would let you if you had a One X version on your Series X. It would say like incompatible, or it basically would say
no. I've basically got both. Because obviously, basically the Series X is
like the powerful one.
Yeah,
the more almighty.
So you can basically play whatever version of games you want.
I meant it the other way. If you had the Series X version, but you tried to play it on your One X, it would let you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I should have played the Series X version on my Series X and should have saved the one version for that. But that's like, there's an achievement I can only like basically make 5 unforced errors, which is basically hitting it out yourself. Because everything's like about the timing and positioning and like you up your stats, like with any kind of game like that.
Attributes.
Like the thing I always go for first is stamina, just so that when the game's like
endurance,
basically when the game's like when the matches drag on a bit, then at least I can still stay in the game just stamina wise. Yeah, I think that's what's
not wear yourself a bit thin.
Yes, wearing a bit thin.
Wearing a bit thin.
But I've got you got to do it on hard or very hard difficulty. Like you have to hit 20 winners. And
is it not just called Andy Murray mode? Is that the veteran difficulty? Is it Andy Murray?
Well, where your knees just give way.
Murray difficulty.
You just become fucking like, oh, my knees are fucked, my back's fucked, everything's fucked. No, but you've got stamina and stuff, and if you play a game under 35% fitness, you're more likely to get an injury, which would then sideline you. And also your travel. So if you're in New Zealand and then you have to travel to London,
there's geography in this game.
it takes up energy off you depending on how far you have to travel from where you went. Like,
but you should be resting on the aeroplane. What are you doing on the plane to lose stamina?
Customs is stressful.
Fairness, it is.
Losing your passport, all sorts of shit.
Anyway, a lot of standing around. Yeah,
but I'm enjoying it. It's just grinding, just trying to become world number 1 and win Wimbledon. That's all I want. That's all I want for me.
Wimbledon mania.
There you go. One day, an English person will win it again in real life, but it's not this year, probably. I don't know. Go, Jack Draper.
When was the last English? Like
Andy Murray in 2016. Well, British man to win Wimbledon. 2016. A woman. It's been a while. Emma Raducanu did win the US Open in 2021, but then she's been injured like every year since. So, but she's got the ability to do it. Whether or not we get there. Should we talk about the film that we're actually going to talk about? I was going to try and find some news, but I don't think I've screenshot anything in years.
Let's get right into the news. I mean, I feel like I've seen little bits for nothing
important.
No.
Nothing important. I mean, I could just delete it all. Just delete it all. In cinemas, July. One thing I did see on their social media accounts, the Mission Impossible films are saying your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to rewatch all the Mission Impossible films.
I
don't. Dun, 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 dun.
About how many weeks? I've got loads of.
That's a level pack in Dimensions.
And I've got that one. I've got that one.
So in preparation for Final Reckoning, we'll be playing the Mission Impossible Levo pack. The Levitation. Wingardium Levo Packo.
It's only MI1. It's not anything too drastic. It's just the infamous.
No Henry Cavill. That was before
exactly.
Before Gun Hands.
That would have been a right tease if that happened. Yeah. Rapid fire fists.
Rapid fire fist. But what about scaling the fucking Burj Khalifa? That was bang on trend. That was 2011.
Bang. Well, no, I'm sure
it's like a Rogue Nation. I only said Rogue One. Tom Cruise.
The Rogue One Nation.
Rogue Nation was 2015.
Yeah. It could have been very much on brand, but I'm sure the actual level is MI1.
Yeah, the Descent.
Yeah. The Descent.
The thing that cinema is known for
Mhm.
across the world. But
Jewelry
yeah,
fair.
a lot of people have been saying, because they're posting, your mission is to rewatch all the Mission Impossible films before
Accepted.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning hits theaters on May 23rd, 2025.
So you've got Superman in May. You've got
Superman's
July. I was just gonna say they're all in the same month, but I'm an idiot. Fantastic Four and Superman are in July. You've got Mission
And
Impossible
Jurassic
then
World.
in May.
Yeah.
Is that the other big player I was thinking of in July then?
Yeah, Super Jurassic
Heimer.
Super Jurassic, Fantastic Super World. There you go.
Fantastic Super World. That's Jurassic.
That is ecstatic. But yeah, and then May you've got Tom Cruise may or may not be in the final Mission Impossible film of his life. Probably not.
Well, then what else is there in May?
But a lot of people are saying, why don't you re-release each
What?
Mission Impossible film in
Every
cinemas?
very
in the
much
build-up,
very
because
much
I would
could
do
be
it.
possible. Yeah.
Because I've not watched any of the Mission Impossible films in cinemas, and I want to be there for when we get hit with the dun dun dun
Every
dun
week
dun
for
dun
8
dun.
films. 8 films
Yeah,
every
like-
week.
You like they did with the
A
Spider-Man
Monday or Sunday. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I would do that. I would definitely see. I definitely see
Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol because that's my favorite.
Fallout because that was my first.
That was your first. Oh, I
Yeah, that
nearly
was
saw
my first.
Fallout, but then I never went to cinema to see it for some reason. Fallout maybe. I definitely would see
Part 1.
part 1 again,
Yeah,
even,
part
though,
1 again.
even though it's no longer part 1.
Yeah.
Because to do that and then imagine a double bill.
Oh, good
4DX double bill, part 1 and 2. And it's just midnight and you're like, I just want to go to bed. Tom Cruise, kill him.
Stop nicking my spine, Tom.
Just kill the bastard. It's Gitrid, probably.
Stop it, Tom. Anything but my spine.
Oh. And he's like, ha, 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 ha. That's Tom Cruise.
And every time he's
He
running,
runs.
then we're just moving.
Just runs. And then he comes in, like, he actually comes in, he just laughs. He does his Tom Cruise, like, but seriously, I'm going to kill you. I'm Tom Cruise.
Until I'm not.
It's a new character. That's a new character of the podcast. You got Kit Harington, who's been away for a while, and you got Tom Cruise.
Joker Tom Cruise.
You want to know how I got these scars? I'm going to kill you with Scientology. Anyway,
Jesus.
I'm in love with Katie Holmes.
And Nicole Kidman.
I broke
That
my-
might have been before or after.
Ah.
Who knows?
I broke my ankle on this building. That again. I love my own pain. I'll kill you all until I see this movie come out. Where's catering?
Where's catering?
And that's just him like in a take before lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
God forbid we like a
yeah,
breakfast.
we need to watch some Mission Impossibles. But other than that, what we did watch, and I saw a film at the cinema on time. Bowing again. Did you watch the BAFTAs on Sunday?
I did not. I wasn't in time for the BAFTAs. I did not watch the BAFTAs. Didn't think about the BAFTAs. I was out working at it.
I didn't think about them. I thought about them because I was like, "Fuck the BAFTAs!" I missed it, and then I watched it last night.
Oh.
Good.
Twists and turns you know about? Anything dramatic?
Out
Controversial?
of the ones that were nominated a lot,
Mm.
it wasn't as Amelia Perez heavy as I thought it would be.
Fair enough. I've still not watched that film. Yeah.
So you'll watch the BAFTAs. We can talk about that next week because
Mm.
David Tennant hosted again.
Yeah. 500 miles. That's the only thing I know.
Yes,
Yes.
it's really good, and the Fellowship Award will probably make you cry.
Oh.
It's like the Lifetime Achievement one.
Oh,
They
okay.
did. That was quite good. Fucking lovely. Go and, if you've not watched the BAFTAs, go to BBC iPlayer right now and watch all 120 minutes, and then come back to this video.
Watch 120 BAFTAs and last night's, and then come back to this video.
Watch 120 years of BAFTA.
Yeah,
If you would somehow
120
travel
years.
back in time
Yeah.
to 1905.
Yeah, that's definitely the first one.
There you go.
It's definitely the first.
Well, it's not.
No.
But I saw a film at the cinema, and it was the 35th film, which I've not put
On your list?
I've not put it on my list yet. The
Guess what?
35th film
Neither have I.
in the MCU.
And it's not my 35th film this year.
Captain America, Brave New World. It is out,
right now.
and it is. We'll do spoilers after this. We'll do a brief spoiler-free chat because we've not actually spoken to each other about it.
No, we didn't have the privilege of seeing it together.
No, you saw it Saturday. I saw it Sunday.
Yeah, no, nice.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to have to see it. And then 4DX.
Yes. At least we did that.
Very good. It was very good. So our brief thoughts on Brave New World. Do you want to go first?
It was very brave. No, it was very brave. It was brave. No. I feel like we're in a new. Well, I say we're not quite in the new phase. I feel like we've now, like I keep saying to you, I feel like we've now kind of gotten out for the most part. And I know some of you are still probably behind your keyboards and reading some dodgy articles, or well, dodgy, but opinionated things, saying we're still a bit in the fluff. We're still a bit of the side of things. But I personally feel like the MCU film-wise series is up for debate, and I'll revisit later down the line, down the saga. But film-wise, Love and Thunder was the first sort of pit stop we've had as for the MCU films. The only exceptions that we've had that have been better than the norm of the MCU over the last couple of years were Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Deadpool Wolverine.
Shang-Chi.
No, that's before Love and Thunder. I'm talking anything from Love and Thunder up until now is where the MCU's been, for the most part.
Was Quantumania before Love and Thunder?
Oh, it was 23. Yeah, no, it was afterwards.
I don't know. Who are we?
No, so all right.
What is this that we do?
Yeah, well, clearly, but Love and Thunder. I'm not going to go over the order, but essentially, Love and Thunder was the first sort of.
I'll get the order up while you talk about.
I know the order.
Why you think that we are in a new era?
Yeah, well, we're out of the bad into the mediocre. The only thing that I feel like I stuck around is the dialogue in some scenes in the first half of the film from Mackie's mouth. It didn't sell me at first.
Is he?
But yeah, well,
Captain America.
After this movie, he is.
He is
not Steve Rogers. Harrison Ford got that right from the trailer, but he's a better man.
Two different guys.
He's a better man.
He
didn't need no serum.
Should have taken that serum.
I like how he was self-aware, but no, he did. You don't need that serum, mate. You're fine.
You don't need no fucking serum. Why have I gone on phase 4? That's annoying. Phase 5. That's what we're in. I really enjoyed this. In terms of other Captain America properties, I mean, I rewatched Falcon and Winter Soldier after it and got a lot more out of it this time round. Maybe that's what they should do. They should only release a series when there's a film coming out. So, like, maybe, like, I'm trying to think and level something up here. Like, when Fantastic Four comes out, then you should have something about, multiverses and things like that. Or with the Thunderbolts, you could have had, like, something like Falcon and Winter Soldier come out. Maybe that's what it should.
I think
be,
like
line up
the themes together. Yeah,
because
so like street level, multiverse.
You're very right in terms of the
overall like so essentially like in a roundabout way. Essentially, it was the end of Phase 4, wasn't it? At Love and Thunder, or
was it then Phase 4? Yeah, it was before because
Wakanda Forever is the end, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, Wakanda Forever, Guardians 3. And Deadpool Wolverine have all been better than norm.
Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever.
But from Love and Thunder up until this film, bearing in mind Wakanda Forever, Guardians 3, and Deadpool Wolverine have all been very good passion projects and have different stories behind them. They're not what I'd consider to be the norm of the MCU.
Yeah, they've been at a different standard.
So yeah, they have been at a different standard. They've got
like
different.
You would argue that Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Marvels were more cut along the cloth of fitting more in with the MCU.
The norm of the MCU.
Whereas Guardians was like it fits in the MCU, but also this is its own fucking thing.
It's James Gunn's love letter and his ending to his self-made trilogy. It's less of a wrapping up and tying things together. Quantumania is kind of on par overall, I'd say, with Brave New World, but it annoyed me regardless of the major situation that developed.
The majors, yes.
Yeah, regardless of his situation, it just annoyed me, rubbed me the wrong way, pissed me off because he didn't do anything for the saga at that point, regardless of then what came out afterwards.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that's more in terms of the
Quality.
That's the other
film.
stuff that's coming, because I think we'll get more into the the whole MCU multiverse saga when we talk in spoilers about this. It's not. The thing I liked about this film was, one, Anthony Mackie.
There's no Avengers in this.
Two, Harris, not yet. Two, I really did. I thought it would be distracting, and it was to a point. But Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross worked.
It did work.
I don't expect to
Messed
see
up
a
on
lot
stuff.
more of him in the future. I don't.
No.
Maybe an appearance here or there. But
No,
and also the thing that worked for me is it was its own thing. It was
absolutely its own thing. Yeah.
It was, here's a story. We're in a world where we know that the Avengers no longer exist. So there's not the question like you would get in your Iron Man 3. Your
Where
Captain
are
America. Why are the Avengers not coming? Because Tony Stark's
Are they not
house
reading
has
the
been
news?
shot into the ocean. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta
In-
make her a star, kidsy.
In
You're gonna be an
Daredevil,
Avenger in my
they-
movie.
in Daredevil, they call it the incident. It's like, oh, the Avengers where everyone's. Is that what they're calling it now? The incident?
There you go. But I like that it stood on its own. My main concern with it, in terms of how it fits into the flow of the MCU, I'll talk more about in spoilers. I think it could be fixed purely by you just you can't change the release now, but had this come out Phase 4, had it been in all seriousness, like, you scrap Black Widow purely because it's a Phase 3 film anyway, or like a Phase 2, Phase 3 film, because it's before Civil War, or like between Civil War and Endgame and things like that. So it fits in there. So that should be included in that. It should have been, I think, I think it should have started with Shang-Chi, because then you get your Mandarin connection to Iron Man. So, like, because Iron Man always starts
The phase.
the
kind
phase,
of,
kind of, all the events of that. So the Ten Rings would have then played a part in that, and it'd be like, well, this is kind of like a beginning, but not how you know it, kind of thing. We're going back to ancient
I agree with that.
China and things like that.
Yeah.
You get your Eternals, get your new space team.
Yeah, spacey, wacy stuff.
Then I think you do Captain America. Putting it there, because then you go back to, right, so we've done what's happening here. You would retroactively make Captain America, obviously, like, editing and stuff, like, it's not going to happen now, but like, you would have made Cap one of the holograms at the end of Shang-Chi.
Exactly. Yes.
I think you would have done.
Yes.
I think, because in terms of, it doesn't work in timing for it, because I don't think them two being at the end of Shang-Chi, and in terms of Captain Marvel and Bruce, don't line up with the release dates of She-Hulk or Miss Marvel or the Marvels. Like, none of that. Like, it doesn't come into play with any of them. Had you had it be Cap, and then it's the next film you see, or like maybe a couple of films down the line, like, you would have been third or fourth, like, you would have then been like, oh, so like we saw a Cap there, so what's happening with them? Because that makes it feel like, well, the Avengers are still kind of in contact.
Yeah, or at least friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
well,
Sociable.
which we think they kind of are.
Yeah, they're somewhat active, but inactive publicly,
Yeah,
we think.
and that would have played more into it, because the way that this leads into sort of the multiverse saga, we'll get more into it in spoilers. I think it would have worked better as a reintroduction of her. So here's a character that's now going to be the leader of the Avengers, because the whole, basically, a lesson learned from this film is the Avengers do need to come back together.
Absolutely.
Sam's point is, because there's a thing in the trailer where, how about, like, let's rebuild the Avengers under my leadership, kind of thing. And
Wow.
Sam, and like, that's one of the things Sam takes away, is that, like, Ross, like, whatever, spoiler wise, whatever Ross said or did in the film, he was right about one thing, is that the Avengers do need to
get
come back
together.
Yeah.
It's not because time's running out in your Disney schedule and it's Avengers Doomsday next year. But yeah.
But that is
regardless of that.
because
You're
but to
absolutely
have
right.
this where it's like, well, the Avengers need to come back together because they're going to be a threat, but we've not seen the world.
Any of it, yeah.
The world has
nothing.
just been without them, and we've not seen them sort of like the rest of the Avengers that were left.
Yeah.
Not the new ones to come in, because they will obviously come in and be part of it in some way. But like, for them to sort of go around like doing their thing, because we've seen clips of a Disney cruise where Sam Wilson Cap is there with Miss Marvel and stuff, and we know the young Avengers squad that was being recruited by Kamala. Because to see that sort of, it would have been nice to have like Miss Marvel maybe around then, because then it would have been like Cap's recruiting his Avengers,
Yeah, that
and then like maybe like the thing of that of maybe it's in the press
once this saga actually ends,
like Cap's like the Avengers are gonna come back together, so that's why Kamala's kind of like, no, we need like a kids version. Let me get all the youngsters, and that's why. So it's kind of like you've got two like factions of it.
Yeah,
But
no,
also
very much so,
it becomes a bit like Dumbledore's army and the Order of the Phoenix style dynamic, like with those two. It could be like that.
I'd love to do this once this saga's ended and we know
Yes,
exactly how things are laid up. I agree with everything you're saying.
but when you've got this late on, the
so
second
late
to last
on,
film
yeah.
in Phase 5 with Thunderbolts to finish the phase off, which is going to be we would assume along the similar kind of lines in terms of the fact that it's going to be set predominantly on Earth. It's going to be a extraterrestrial threat in terms of Sentry, as far as we know, and like a Suicide Squad style team being sent to shut this down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then we go to a different universe with Fantastic Four, and then after that, you've got Doomsday, a Spider-Man movie wedged in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, and one other unannounced film.
Yeah.
So they're like only 4 films at the moment in Phase 6, and that's I think also the problem with the phase, the saga, being as short as it is. So it's like 2021 to 2027, 6 years, whereas you had 2008 to 2019.
Yeah, you had 11 years.
Yeah. Compressed storytelling. I know that there's the backlog from the strike and from COVID, so that wedged everything up a lot closer together. So there was a bit more oversaturation and overcompensation in especially 2021 and 2022. I think they kind of hit a stride and sort of stretched it out a bit more. But it's also to the detriment, I think, of just general sequels to franchises. Because Shang-Chi, one of my favorite films in the MCU, fantastic
number
film.
1. Yeah.
It's been 4 years, and we know that there's constant talk of work on a sequel, but we don't know if or when it will happen.
Yeah.
And we don't know if or when we're going to see that character again.
Pretty much, yeah. Exactly that.
The same with I rock with Eternals. I fucking love it. And we finally got some payoff for that in this, which was nice. Again, though, because it kind of would have dealt with, in terms of timeline-wise, like the end with Arishem.
It takes them. Yeah, Arishem takes them.
Tierman.
Tierman
is because Arishem's the one that takes them for judgment. Tierman comes out of Earth and then is frozen, and then you get like a couple of months later,
he's Ed.
A film more down the line, then you get the thing of, well, they're dealing with fucking Adamantium Island, basically. You know what I mean? Which then doesn't get brought up until in our world, 3.5 years after the movies come out. But in terms of then, it would be about, I'd say about 2 years later in universe, because it's kind of always been out of sync. We're kind of almost synced back up. Or in like 2025 or early 2026, I think, at this point in the MCU.
I want to say
think
so.
somewhere
I
about
want
then.
to say so, but
But hey, that's a problem for another video. But all in all,
a big long video.
Considering how many Marvel crew members were coming out and saying we knew this was going to be a bad film because of how tense it was, how many reshoots we had to do, how much of a Diva Harrison Ford was, I think for all that, I really fucking love this movie. And at the moment, pending rewatches of all of them again, because I want to do it when this either comes on Disney Plus or when the 4K comes out, because I'm definitely buying this straight up. It's at the moment my third favorite Captain America film.
So
and
what's
slap bang in the middle of the Captain America franchise.
So what's out of the 4 Cap movies?
Yep.
And again, spoiler-free context, of course, because we kind of skirted around, but obviously mentioned things, and we're talking way future stuff.
Yeah, we'll do this bit and then we'll go straight into, because it's already been like half an hour and we've barely said anything. So we will get into spoilers.
Shortly,
yes,
very soon. But no,
but by the time this comes out, it will have been out for over a week, and you've probably seen it. If you want to see it, people will, thank God, have gone to see it.
You need to see it.
So my ranking.
Yeah, what is your ranking of the Cap franchise?
Winter Soldier
as
favorite MCU film of all time. If we went back and did the World Cup, I would have fought more for that to come out and win it. First Avenger.
Second, okay, yeah.
Brave New World.
Civil War, because it's
Civil
Avengers
War.
movie.
Civil War. not because it's a bad. I think we talked about this in the recap last week. Not because it's a bad movie by any means. Not because it's badly made. Not because it's badly written, cast, acted, anything. It simply isn't just a Cap story.
No, it's
So
everyone's story.
I can't, as much as I like it, and it's probably it's one of the.
It's a key movie.
It's
but-
Mike's. I think it's Mike's favorite MCU film, which I dig because all the like Captain
fair
America
point.
has a fantastic trilogy.
Yeah.
It's just one that I can. It's more generic because it feels more like, hey, can you put all these guys in Russo so that we can see if you can do great stuff with Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame kind of thing.
It's a playground.
And I know that Cap is still the main character in it, but it's him. It's his story, and it's an Iron Man story, and it's also a Bucky story, and it's also the whole Civil War thing that's happening behind it, and it's also fracturing the Avengers so that when we get to Infinity War, they lose. It's all those kind of things. Whereas
for Zemo
I
to
really-
dance in the club later. But yeah.
and now at the moment, the other three films now,
Mm.
I just fuck with a lot more because they're Captain America stories.
Through and through.
And I'm really excited to see where Sam gets to go on this trilogy because Sam
Yes.
Wilson's not the character I've gelled with a lot, purely because I think his best appearance
Was Winter
Soldier because he was integral to the plot and he was useful. He became a bit of like,
Steve's mate.
I'm just Steve's mate.
I
think-
plus
Do
one.
you know what I think done me in? And because
was the turning
I've
point?
rewatched Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I had a lot more fun with it this time round post Brave New World. And I should have watched it and then gone to see the film, but I simply didn't have time. I might go and see it again now that I've rewatched it these last couple of days.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I think the Ant-Man cameo fucked me off a lot more than
It should
the rest of the purely because it was like
Hmm.
with Avengers,
Tic Tac.
with Avengers, with Ant-Man, sorry. I think it's the one thing Edgar Wright didn't like was the fact that it has to link into the rest of the universe. So to do that in Ant-Man 1, there's an old warehouse, Stark Tech facility, but now it's the
got a
Avengers.
Big A
It's the Avengers
for
campus.
America.
And because we need to prove that people live in this building and it's not empty and we couldn't afford any of the stars, instead of going for the conventional one of the big ones because of budget, they went for Falcon, and it's the Falcon and an Ant-Man fight to prove like how the power set would work, and it gets them on speaking terms for Civil War because then the whole thing of he knows a guy, and then
I'm shaking your hand. It's Captain
I'm
America.
shaking your hand too long.
Yeah, I'm shaking your hand too long.
That's Captain America. I know you too. You're great. One of the best uses of Ant-Man. Let's be real. But it's that whole thing of that fight, and they almost use him like he's a guard dog, like in terms of Sam Wilson, and then like gets his ass kicked. And the first thing is, it's really important. Cap never finds out about this.
It was that moment. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
because other than like Anthony Mackie is a fucking amazing actor. Like he is amazing, and he still wants to play this character for another 10 years.
do it,
Do it.
do it, Mackie.
I want.
do it, and you can get a Big Mac.
He's stripping off again. Oh my god.
I'm getting into
he's
gear.
like he's grown a lot, and like because I rewatched Winter Soldier again today, and I was like,
Not
just
today.
to see like
God
where he is, like in 11 years since that came out, and you're like, he has grown and he's done a lot, and the character, there is probably more nuance than I'm giving him credit for. So if I rewatched all of the Falcon appearances, I'd probably feel a lot more about it. I was
I did.
on Civil War, but there is, I think, just Winter Soldier was such a great use of him. He's good enough in Civil War. The Ant-Man thing, I know that there's so many characters that it's hard for him to even really get a
Bounce
sniff
off of.
in Infinity War and Endgame, purely because Endgame is not there till the end. And Infinity War, it's kind of unfair really because he's second roster Avengers, so he's one of the main, like he's at least second fiddle. So like you've got your original 6,
Yeah,
and then he's
Earthbound.
so he's like one of the other guys that then should come immediately after that in terms of quite a big part, not the best, like not bigger than Downey, Evans, Hemsworth and co. But you would have Mackie, fucking Bettany, Olsen, all those ones that then joined immediately after,
next
and then you've got
generation.
your Strangers and things like that. But like those kind of like Strange, Spider-Man, all those Guardians, like it was like, oh, it's all these coming together at once, and it kind of pushed him down
Overshadowed
quite a lot,
Yeah.
which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because the only person that really gave a shit that he was gone was fucking Rhodey, because Rhodey's the only one like asking where Sam is, and other than that, no one gave a shit. My
name is Sam. I do not care. But that's Clint.
But Clint, I don't care.
I don't care.
But yeah, him getting the shield and then finally getting the series, which was then like it sort of felt like a backstep in terms of like, oh, but then
it was a MacGuffin because it was the whole you can have the shield, and then the whole series was I don't
have to earn the shield.
Yeah.
But then I get watching it again now. I get it more.
Yeah, absolutely, I get it more.
I like the Becoming Captain America show, and I like that Malcolm Spellman, who wrote Falcon Winter Soldier, was a writer on this. I really digged it. I was happy to see him just be Cap, like because we went through that whole show, got to episode 5 and 6, and had him like do the training,
which comes into the action of the fit, like the choreography, some of the fight scenes, some of the.
He still does a lot of his Falcon moves, like his kick flips and things like that. So loved all that. Wondered why he got rid of the neck cowl, but it's because he said in interviews that he hated it.
Yeah.
Well, because it was all flappy. Because naturally, that bit of fabric it flaps a lot. Because I remember because it looks like it pulls down, and after a while, that looks like that would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But because I remember in the visual effects post stuff for Avengers Assembled documentary on it is them flattening down the fabric so it looks skin tight. So and plus the costumes change and adapt all the time. The new costume I did like the extra white in it. Yeah, at the top because it looked more comic Falcon Captain America.
And
version.
actor comfortable.
Yeah.
And actor comfort is a must.
I dug it. I want to see him get a trilogy. I want to see sort of him in between. Because we could have had hit this and then ended up with another film just before if this had come like phase 4. Yeah. And had like a sort of like follow-up like Cap, like recruiting the event. Like he could be like the Nick Fury post-credits theme and be like,
kind of,
I need to get the band back together because there's other worlds
coming. It seems to be this generation is Kamala Khan. But as only going off of the Marvel's post-credit scene and Kate Bishop from Hawkeye, and they're very much like, let's get the squad together, guys.
But no, I wanna see him lead the Avengers, but I want us to, it not be next year. I want it to I wanted this film like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
But so spoilers from now on.
Yeah.
So we were talking. If you've not seen Captain America: Brave New World, what the fuck are you doing? A lot of people so far have.
What are you doing?
Because they were predicting worse than it has been. I think it's the second biggest Captain America opening box office weekend, behind Civil War.
Yeah, behind Civil War. Which is fair. It's good.
I really fucking like this film, Connor. I really did. Like, I think I went in with the expectation, having seen all those like bad things about it, that was like.
I went in low because of the MCU, not because of this film in particular. I just went in because it's the MCU. The films are kind of hokey pokey anyway. Dialogue is the thing that I feel like is an issue of this film in particular, but also Thor: Love and Thunder till now is still a thing with the films. They very much skim through the scenes. Falcon literally says his lines really quick, and it is literally not even like compared to Chris Evans, where it feels like he gets a line or two which are quite memorable and quotable. It feels like for me, Mackie literally says it, especially his banter with Torres, the new Falcon of this film.
Yes,
I feel like their
Torres
banter's good.
Introduced in
Falcon and Soldier, but then I feel like some of his dialogue with other characters in the film, not naming names because I'm just talking very quick interactions, it just felt like they were just trying to go from scene to scene very quickly. And I get the film is a 2-hour slightly shorter MCU film. Pacing, I wouldn't say it was an issue with this film, but compared to like other 2-hour or even shorter MCU films, they flow by. This movie to me felt longer, but that doesn't make it a bad thing. It felt longer than it was.
Yeah.
But there was a lot more build up and story and Ross that I didn't really go into it thinking, we're actually going to get the time of day. Like I thought it was just going to be, Captain America's doing this thing. Oh yeah, a little bit of Serpent Society. I mean, man like Giancarlo Esposito. I mean, love that actor. Wonderful villainous scumbag of actors in so many things he's been in. But I feel like he got done dirty in all these rewrites and script adjustments. You could have cut him out of the movie entirely. I know he was like the middleman for the buyer that ends up being Samuel Stearns, but don't do that to Giancarlo Marvel. Don't do that.
Yeah, Sidewinder was a bit of a.
He wasn't exactly a great villain. He's not even Crossbones. He was just kind of.
He's more of a henchman, like akin to that. But then also, he's in prison when I break out. But
when I break out,
yeah. If you ever break out, I'm coming for you.
On Battle World.
But I think he was good enough. I think he was obviously more cast to the fact that it's Giancarlo Esposito.
I
like-
name over character, of course.
I like the whole vibe of this film. It felt like, Winter Soldier is
Light.
not to, harp on about it because some people like it, some people don't. Some people get, the big fan wanky over it. It's my favorite MCU film, but it's the start of that wave where it's like, it's a great film caught in the midst of we need to make this more cookie cutter and we'll do the thing, and it has to sort of fit into this style. As why like Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, but it's also you got this and fucking James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, and that sort of set it on the trend of we've got the directors, let them put their style on it, and then we'll the rest will come into play and it will fit together. Like it's the espionage, the real world like spy thriller version of it. It's the reason that initially I was excited for Black Widow because it seemed to be following that similar line because it was similar characters that have been in that world
as well. Yeah.
The same reason that I was that I sort of dig more now Falcon and Winter Soldier because it follows that on, and this feels you could take like Cap 2, Falcon Winter Soldier, and then this, and it all flows like in terms of a thematic feel.
Consistent. Yeah.
Like the consistency is there.
Amongst the MCU has been so
Yeah.
what if and wavy lately.
Yeah, and it feels like this has grown out at the end of the show, and it's nice that you kind of had a show that, yes, you had to watch in terms of this, but the payoff has been a lot more rewarding. Whereas in terms of like, for example, the Marvels, you've had to have watched WandaVision and Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel's not been a show that's been that greatly received.
No.
So then get to the Marvels where the payoff doesn't even feel completely finished
No, it doesn't.
because of where it's left
And
out.
the best thing about that movie is a thing that's even going to happen way in the future. Not 2 movies time, not next year. That's going to be after this saga.
That's
After the saga.
I just want to kind of get to the end of the multiverse saga and then like be from there. Because
And get to Avengers vs. X-Men. Let's go. Avengers vs. X-Men.
even
That's
that, I don't think that puts bums in seats. I'm not really.
I put the nerds in seats.
Yeah, but like by now it's like, well, what are this version of the X-Men going to look like? in
What
terms
are
of
the Avengers right now?
Exactly.
They're all
Stan's going to fight Wolverine and get his head cut off. That's what's going to happen. Hopefully
Yeah.
not. Anthony Mackie's amazing. Any doubts you have over Cap?
Yeah. Put them in the bin.
Surely now they're
Put
squashed.
them in the bin.
Because it was nice to see him. It was also nice to see him sort of talk, openly about how the fact that he's not Steve, but he doesn't give a fuck because he's doing it his way. Like the whole you're maybe Cap, but you're not Steve Rogers. That's the whole point. Is that he's not. It's a different way of thinking, and he was chosen by Steve because of his heart and his personality. And I think it's exemplified most is when. So the basic plot of Brave New World. Adamantium is in the celestial Tiamat that was stopped at the end of Eternals.
It's the material of the gods now instead of being a man-made substance by Stryker.
Well, it did come from space though, because it came in a meteor in X-Men, didn't it? So,
is that always a thing in the comics though?
Well, it's
I thought adamantium was a man-made substance.
It
somehow.
I think it
Like
is in some
somewhere.
iteration, but in terms of the Fox movies, it was a meteor
It was a space.
that fell to Earth.
Okay.
But as he puts it, it's even less indestructible, even more indestructible
Then vibranium.
which as a sentence doesn't
It's
grammatically make
even
any
more
sense.
indestructible.
Yeah, it's either indestructible or it's not.
But even more indestructible.
But
Yeah.
I said, unlike vibranium, it's not controlled by Wakanda. Basically, gets a shout in terms of it's not one nation that sits upon the whole resource of it.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a big island in disputed waters.
Yeah.
Let's divide it up because we can apply it to technology, weapons, and all kinds of stuff.
The main players being America and Japan in this movie.
Yeah,
At the minute.
India and France and so on are all
Are
involved in
there
it.
and mentioned that the main key players are
Japan
America.
versus America. Yes,
that's the thing. Yeah.
So it's the fight for the adamantium, but underneath it all is a thing of like, there's this whole big thing of like, has Ross changed like from when he was that angry army general with a moustache? I like that they put Harrison Ford in the moustache in sort of the same uniform because it basically it's in the footage. It's presumed to be a follow-up press conference from the like
the outcome of
the
Incredible
outcome
Hulk.
of Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, so the intro to the movie is a big newsreel exposition dump for those that haven't watched 2008's Edward Norton Incredible Hulk movie. It's just kind of like, this is what's happened here.
I like
This
that the
is
films
why-
have become those
This is
films
why
have become
Ross
more
is a
relevant.
prick. And look at Harrison Ford with a moustache for a second, and that was funny.
That was
It
like,
was-
oh,
it was very
that was
funny.
like, oh yeah. So it's, I because it's weird because like so animation wise,
Mm.
in What If when they went back to
What
the
If?
Incredible Hulk, they did a halfway house so that it was
It was
it
half,
looked it was
kind
like
of
half
Norton,
Ruffalo,
but
half Norton, yeah.
Ruffalo's features. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which you can't really do that.
In live
But
action.
I thought maybe they would have done it or
Or tried to do something with Ross.
with the photographs because the photograph in his office of
Yeah.
it's just young Harrison Ford and
oh, okay. I didn't look at them.
Betty and his
Yeah,
wife.
okay, fine. Okay, I didn't look at that. Those.
Not that like
noticed it.
when like so that would look a bit weird, but to sort of maybe if you'd have had like an amalgam, so like you would have seen some of William Hurt there because obviously
Still there.
Harrison Ford takes over from William Hurt, who passed away in 2022.
Two, but the Red Hulk idea isn't a Harrison Ford thing. They didn't just get the replacement. And go, let's do it with Harrison Ford. But
It was always
this
in the
was
plan.
discussed with her. This
Yes,
was
and he was
discussed with
keen
her.
to return, but sadly,
Just didn't get
the
the chance.
his fight with illness just it wasn't because he's in Black Widow and he looks frail.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of like, is this because like I didn't even realize he was ill, and it's like, is this part of the thing, like in this version of the timeline? Because I know they talk about that, like he has that heart attack and the surgery and things like that. So like I was like, maybe if like,
Yeah,
but then like they've been
it
able to with his mobility
again. Comes
issues,
up in this.
it-
Yeah,
it, like you know that can sort of be used to like aid him on set. And it's like, well, the character did have a heart attack at this point, so he wouldn't have just been moving around. So like,
yeah.
it's not just it wouldn't be unexpected for him to just be like, oh, William, we've got to be fucking walking around like running after these guys and shouting. But they do the subtle thing of making the joke about the recast because obviously you have the thing in Iron Man 2 where it's like, oh, I didn't recognize, oh, it's me, I'm here, deal with it, and then like they just
They
move on,
just
when
move
it's,
on.
in terms of fucking Don Cheadle was Rhodey. With this, it's like I'm still getting used to the new look, sir, and it's like, well,
Well,
they said-
imagine Mark Ruffalo and Harrison Ford if they ever get a scene.
I'd like it.
That'd be but that'd be interesting. That'd be a double entendre. Both characters have had a makeover.
Well, Hulk does that in She-Hulk when they talk about
Yeah,
abomination. He's like,
sure,
well,
yeah.
I was a different man back then. Almost like a weird Doctor Who line, that isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, when they say about the new look, and he's like, yeah, well, they said lose the moustache or lose the election. And because Ross is now president-elect of the United States.
Woohoo! Because that's one of the only threads that followed up from Secret Invasion. The president of that, there was a prime minister of that. Prime minister ain't England. President of America that got in that show, which I didn't realize.
Yeah, because we've not really had an in-depth president since
No.
President Ellis
right, I didn't
in
remember his
Iron Man
name.
3. And
But
then his
what
name
the hell happened to him?
Then his
Did he
name's-
get dusted?
Well, I don't
like
know,
Thanos?
but then naturally, you know, it would only last 8 years maximum anyway, and we don't know when he was elected the first time.
Oh, fine, fair.
So if you'd say maybe 2012 he was elected, because that would have been the next election, like before, like Avengers, like maybe he's the president post Avengers 1.
Avengers 1,
That's why
yeah.
he's so prolific in Iron Man 3. His name's on the Captain America exhibit at the Smithsonian.
Right, yeah.
And like you can see him on Project Insight and stuff. And I don't know when he stops being the president because by the time you get to Civil War, maybe he's not because that's a term. So maybe he just did one term.
Yeah.
You've obviously got the one in Secret Invasion, like you said, and naturally working your way up from a general to a Secretary of State. The Secretary of State, and then more often than not, you can then be sort of like endorsed to run for president. So that neatly follows on to how they'd retooled him in Civil War to bring him back, which they did to make the Incredible Hulk more relevant, which this film carries on with that, which I really enjoyed. And when you find out how he's got that career projection, like that, then all makes sense because that fits naturally. But also, when you've got someone behind you pulling the strings or helping you out, that's why, and it all sort of fits together. It then also
Politics.
It then also leaves it in an interesting place, especially when we get to Thunderbolts, because a certain character in that, which
That's the best scene of the movie for me. That was
Which
the nicest scene.
we were like, there's no way he's not in it, and he was in it, but he's becoming a congressman, and that's we'll leave that bit for just a little bit later on because that's it's a character I think we both really happy to see.
I beamed. I genuinely
went, yes.
Oh, yeah, I thought it, but I literally went, oh, I gasped.
Yeah.
I gasped. I was like, oh.
It's him.
Yeah.
It's the Gallagher guy from Avengers 1.
Jesus. Dum Dum Dugan.
Back from the dead?
I know, right?
Steve stole my wife.
He's the only one that time traveled. Well, think again, Buster.
And he's just got Steve's head. I like that Sam, like, he's only really in Steve's shadow, like, in that moment after he's, like, failed, like, towards the end of the second act, like, beginning of the third act in the movie. Other than that, it's just, he's Cap and deal with it. I found it a bit like, it's actually strange, but really nice that when he's at the bar at the beginning, after Ross wins the election, gets sworn in, that, like, he gets his drinks and they're like, here you go, Cap. And it's like,
that's nice.
That's weird, but it's also lovely. At that point where he's like, everyone's calling him Cap, he's comfortable with it. He's just,
it's not even the rekindling the joke of like, Black Falcon. No, that's Captain America.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Rewatching that. So if I called you Black Kid, would that be right?
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Think about it. But
yeah.
What? So it's because I'm Falcon and I'm black? That's not what it is. I'm just the Falcon. And then someone was like, Black Falcon's like, nah. That's Captain America. And like when that happened at the episode 6, I got goosebumps. I was like, oh fuck, like
that's nice.
I fucking, maybe Sam Wilson is my favorite character in the MCU at the minute. Like him, Doctor Strange.
You've gone full circle.
Him, Doctor Strange, and Shang-Chi. They're
a solid three.
They're the people I want to see run the Avengers. But anyway,
Elizabeth Olsen is a close fourth.
Yes.
One day
she'll
come back. Yeah, one day she'll come back.
I liked Joaquin Torres and his relationship with Sam because that developed in the show, and obviously becomes Falcon in the comics and has become Falcon at least part-time by the beginning of this film, because he's kind of the guy in the chair who's like, well, you can't be in both places at once, and there's that whole thing, and I really appreciated that. But
he does
really funny if none of this.
His dynamic is similar, without jumping ahead or sort of spoiling things. It's kind of Iron Man and Rhodey.
There's always like a Cap and a Bucky and Iron Man and Rhodey. Like it's nice to have the kind of, you don't say hero sidekick, but it is kind of still like
but we're not copying or homaging Winter Soldier, but you've got the Black Widow presence felt in the movie due to another character in the film. But you've also
certain
to a degree
controversial changes.
But then you've also got a Winter Soldier-ish presence in the form of another character that also reprises from Falcon Winter Soldier. Not again from a plot point of view, but I'm glad he was in it for more than just 5 minutes.
Yes,
he wasn't just a glorified cameo. I didn't know, due to Carl Lumbly's involvement, I didn't know if he was going to be, because of what goes down in the first act, I didn't know if he was going to be Mr. 60% of the movie. I didn't know if the whole thing was going to revolve around his character, but that mainly seems to be a thing in the first act. But as soon as his stuff breaks down, I thought of Winter Soldier. But like, it literally felt like they had the components from the Winter Soldier movie, used it with their characters quite sparingly and fairly for the most part, and just did it in a different way. And then that's all I'll say about that.
Really good.
Right now.
So there's on a visit to the White House after recovering some adamantium, because it flashes forward 5 months, and Sam and Joaquin retrieve it. They get invited to the White House. He brings Isaiah Bradley with him, which it was nice to see him.
Yeah.
And then
I thought was a cameo, but
a song starts playing, and then mind controlled. There's 6 of them, I think, including Isaiah, and they're shooting different people, like different targets they've clearly been brainwashed to shoot. But
very Red Roomy. Black Widow, very Red Roomy.
But he tries to shoot President Ross, and is then like they're all incarcerated. And then it's basically Sam's motive is to find why he done that, because he was mind controlled, and basically wakes up after he's been on the run and he's outside surrounded by the police. And his whole thing, I shouldn't have come with you. But it's also, we understand because the probability has been predicted by a certain other returning character.
By an algorithm, you might say. And no, it's not the YouTube
algorithm. Rhythm from Looney Tunes, Space Jam, A New Lego IC. So basically, Giancarlo Esposito is Sidewinder, part of the Serpent Society.
Yeah.
And they are sort of basically the mercenary team that have been hired. They were hired to steal the adamantium,
Yeah.
but we realised that it's a long game through. The whole American government essentially has been, manipulated by
From the inside.
from the inside out.
Almost a Hydra-esque situation, but not quite.
Not quite as big as that, I don't
No.
think.
Not quite as global as well. But it's like you say, it's a long game of chess for that one character. Since 2008, he's been playing a very long game off screen.
Well, what did you think of the plot? Because I think one thing about this film is that Red Hulk is in it because that's the culmination of it. Because that's been in the trailers.
I thought that was the Red Guardian. You're telling me that was the Red Hulk? What?
Because
I thought that was Bruce Banner. Are you just like skimming?
I'm sorry. I was looking up because the character of Ruth what's her name?
Medley. No, not Ruth Medley.
Ruth bloody Batsarat.
Yeah,
she was changed to a Black Widow during filming because of the whole situation in Gaza at the minute. Because traditionally she is an Israeli superhero.
Yes,
and there was that whole thing of that's too controversial to have on screen at the minute with the whole what they're doing to Palestine and all that stuff, which we've been, maybe to our own arrogance, have been very sort of we don't really know, but it's shit what they're doing. So and especially what fucking old President Numbnuts is trying to do in terms of take it over and then relocate thousands upon thousands of fucking Palestinian people and that kind of thing. So that I understood it. It's you can't really then be like, but hey, look, in a mainstream film, he's an Israeli superhero. It's kind of oh, that's that raises more questions than it are in terms of that kind of thing. It's probably not the best thing to do right now. So they rework it so that she is former Black Widow.
Yes.
I don't know if the actress herself is Israeli.
Shira Haas, she is Israeli.
So yeah, so it's still relevant to the character. So it's still there, but they just haven't made a full on Israeli superhero. Yeah,
because of real world implications at the minute. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Whether that changes at any point, I don't know. I don't know if then they'd fucking want to step on that minefield at the minute, which is probably fair enough. But I think she was really good in terms of you see her sort of so she's his head of security, and she seems like this just tiny little one, but she beats the fuck out of some people, and it's oh yeah, because she's Black Widow, so it's that means stay out of her way.
You do not want to mess with her.
But no, she was very good. That was an interesting inclusion. Obviously, that then ties in with the Black Widow stuff, more sort of the grounded stuff in terms of the MCU. So you got your times of Black Widow, Incredible Hulk, Civil War, that whole thing of how that ties in, and Eternal space element, because there's that finally a thing of these many movies have come out since Eternals, and no one's talking about this. I think it's been on news sites and things like that in the background of stuff, and it's been talked about, and now it's it's finally been dealt with. The Eternal sequel that we all wanted.
It's just a head and a hand.
But there's no Harry Styles.
Never again.
So with Ross being threatened, and then the treaty in terms of the world dividing up the resources of adamantium falling apart, it's really being put to the test whether or not President Ross is now a changed man, because his whole thing about, like we said earlier, an angry general, they talk about it in the news section when it's managed to turn the narrative from being an angry army general who's done not very nice things to Secretary of State to now President of the United States.
And you ever get to that point?
Yeah, and he's tried to change so much because Betty is still mad at him. Betty gets several name checks throughout the film. 2008,
yeah.
Because he's come to resent his mistakes when it involving she was never happy about what I did in terms of chasing down Banner, spent my life hunting down a Hulk, and things like that.
But I'm just not to brush it aside, but he moved on. So if we ever get a weird reunion between Betty and the Hulk, or a Hulk in the future, how's that going to go down? It'd be a bit weird.
Yeah, it's weird. With Betty Ross, Bruce Banner's former girlfriend. It was like that felt like a bit too exposition-y.
It was like, yeah.
Because those of us that know. If you don't know, that's like, oh yeah, okay. But it's just go back and watch the Incredible Hulk.
Former girlfriend.
Yeah, that felt a bit too like, here is this. This is what we're laying out.
This is who she is.
And he spent his whole life obsessing over Hulks. Will that come to have an effect? Yes. My
Just a
problem with the conclusion is that they blew their load in the trailer.
Whoa.
They chose.
No, they did.
They chose getting people in.
Based off of the whole concept of Captain America versus
Red
a
Hulk.
Hulk.
Yes.
That's not our Hulk. But oh my god, it's two heroes fighting each other, and
Yeah.
that's going to be the whole movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we've got to go and see it.
Yeah. And that's not the whole movie.
That isn't the movie.
That's the third act.
That really isn't the movie, guys.
That's really the end, which
Yeah.
is the only. It's the most Sony they've ever
It is
been
the
in a
Sony
trailer.
move. No, that's very valid. It is the Sony move. Yeah, they
But-
bait and switch you.
Yeah.
in a way.
Which is fair enough had it happened early on, but like
Yes.
you're waiting the whole film, and you're like, well, I know what's going to happen because I've seen the trailer where, and your whole marketing and your merchandise is off of Cap's going to fight Red Hulk, and that's the main reason why this isn't a top tier film. Is like, had that been saved,
A
Like-
real surprise. Like if
Yeah.
they somehow had to keep CGI Hulk out of that, and you had a Hulkbuster instead, and
Yeah.
it turned out to be an actual abomination,
yeah,
a gamma creature,
yeah, they could have
then
done,
that would have really been.
they could have altered the trailers like they have in the past for other films.
Even for Hulk in the trailer, the whole shield slam. He's he's holding Sam up when he's slamming the shield down. That was
slightly
edited
different, yeah.
out.
But come and get me. It's So you're
Yeah.
building something that you already know is happening because of the merchandise. Like on your way into the cinema, you got a fucking Red Hulk popcorn bucket. You've got
Got
the trailers
drinks.
playing, and you know
Yeah.
that, like, yeah, well, Red Hulk's in it. So it's not like the culmination was with the leader, which is the returning Samuel Stearns, played by Tim Blake Nelson, who
Back from
apparently-
2008.
Apparently, that design was changed last minute because obviously you've seen merchandise that you've got the goatee.
And the noggin on his head.
He looks like in the merchandise. Don't you think he looks like a green Lin-Manuel Miranda
Kind of.
because of the weird,
Kind
the
of.
weird narrow goatee,
Now that you said
and then the swept back
that.
hair?
Noggin. But he had
But
an
he-
actual cranium on his head.
But he didn't start reciting Hamilton. Which is a
He
shame.
did not.
Yeah, but then like I don't mind because he's horrifying in the way he looks and his brains.
No, but Tim Blake
Basically,
Nelson was described. He when he was playing for the role, he requested it not to be CGI. He wanted
some, so there was a general reaction.
But I
yeah.
was expecting it to be something not
Like a
just
bigger head, sort of like how
yeah.
what's his name is in Green Lantern.
Sinestro. What
Not
Sinestro?
Sinestro, the other one, the Doctor.
I know you
Because
mean.
then his head grows
Yeah,
quite large.
I know you mean,
forget.
but I can't think his name.
It's right. Michael Wright in the comments. He's got our back on the fact checking. Because like when he cuts his head and then the blood goes into it and then his cranium starts to expand in the Incredible Hulk. One day he's going to become the leader. Well, it's 17 years later, but we finally got there.
Yeah, it's
The long way around, and
definitely a long way around.
yeah. So I can, because
He
we
looks grotesque enough. Like, I get what you mean about
Yeah.
him being like icky and
Yeah.
I guess disgusting. Like,
Yeah,
in
I'll-
the shadows, he looks
yeah.
very menacing with the
Yeah.
green eyes. He looked.
had he
cool.
just been like it was him but with a bigger head and green, it still would have worked. But I like the fact that we learned that Ross has kept Sam Stearns under lock and
As his
key
torturer.
because someone had to take the fall for
The
what
Incredible
happened in
Hulk.
Harlem
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
because like Abomination and Banner and everything.
Ran away. Well, yeah.
So you've got that. You've got so he's because of his increased intellect, like probabilities was predicted. He basically used him to find out what was wrong with him and found out he had heart failure, and so he managed to engineer these pills that have kept him alive. That you see him taking a lot throughout
But
the
again,
movie.
it's a nice. We mentioned briefly about William Hurt and the whole heart attack thing in Civil War. It's the theme of the heart, which was again
does
established
play into
earlier
that,
on.
yeah, it does play
It's
into that
nice
too.
that came up because I thought that's a random plot
Yeah.
point. But then when rewatching the trilogy, I was like, oh, so it's
important.
It
yeah.
could be a thing, yeah.
And is also like in his desperation of like keeping Stearns under lock and key is because he didn't want the pills to stop.
No,
So he took advantage.
He
He kept
wanted to
dangling the
live.
carrot of freedom for Stearns,
Yeah.
and it never came. And he managed to manipulate his way all the way up to President of the United States, while slowly
all the way up to the top,
gamma had
yeah.
been increased throughout his dosage of his
dosage.
pills
Yeah,
to a point where he then rages out and becomes a big flaming red Hulk monster. Not in the way Sam Stearns wanted to.
No.
Purely because so as soon as the assassination happens, Ross knows that Isaiah's not like doing it off his own back. That it's been mind control, and it's been from the leader, we'll call him, even though he never name checks himself like that.
So says he says, "I am the hero."
The hero. I literally was like,
"You are the leader. Say who you are, please, for me."
it's very true. I was like, is he going to say it then? And like, no.
So and for those that have watched the '90s Hulk cartoon, and every time he mentioned to Gargoyle, he was always "So says the leader." That was his. Whether that's a thing in the comic, that was his quote in the cartoon. I wanted him to say it at least once. "So says the leader." That's all I wanted. That's ultimate nitpick
Release
number
the
one.
leader cut, damn it.
Yeah, not I am the hero.
I am the hero.
I am
because
the leader.
so he escalates the tensions with the treaty and like the divided up of Adamantium to a point where so that he wants Ross to lose his temper. So that then he rages out as Red Hulk, completely like obliterates the fleets with his own bare hands, and then he wants to tarnish Ross's own legacy against him. And they're having these conversations over like headphones and like phone and all that stuff. And Ross manages to suppress one thing over in the Indian Ocean, over the island, and Sam manages to save the day. And
it was almost going to trigger earlier, like you say, during the Indian Ocean battle over the sea. Very Top Gun Maverick-y, I felt, with the airborne action choreography.
In which Joaquin gets too close to one of the missiles being fired by a mind-controlled
American or
Japanese American pilot, because that then gets the Japanese to try and fire on them. So they've got to de-escalate the situation by saving the Japanese and ejecting the manipulated pilots out of their planes. And that's really well done. Like you say, a bit like Rhodey-esque in terms of how Joaquin gets a bit too close.
To quote Harrison Ford, "Great kid, but don't get cocky," and that's exactly what he did.
Great kid, don't get penisy.
Don't get falcony.
Has life-changing injuries to the point where he's in surgery. But we'll come back to why that's important. But yeah, so that's how he wanted to tarnish his legacy. That he would basically be the president to create a war out of his own control because he's become a big rage monster.
You could say a world war with a Hulk.
A World War Hulk.
World War Hulk. But no, sadly,
in the end, he has to he turned himself in so that he can release the recordings he has as conversations with Ross to tarnish his legacy like that, which then gets him in a rage in the press conference because he wants to just defend himself and speak, and they're holding him back. Because everyone's
coming after him for every little thing he's done, and
then the rage is there, and then Sam arrives for the big fight,
the beast out,
which is how that ends. And basically everything you see in the trailers,
which happens,
basically everything, which is a shame because I would have liked some surprises. I mean, the bit in the Cherry Blossom was nice in terms of when Falcon sort of sweep in and out of him, like in a low altitude, and then like he's got the shield up, and he pulls the shield down, and Red Hulk's there and punches him. Like,
that was bit
of a jump scare.
It was jump scary, yeah.
But with Falcon in hospital and having his heart restarted and he's in surgery, then someone enters the room when Sam's doing his best.
But the thing is with that, you didn't even hear the door go. He
someone walk in.
He just, I did. I just saw Sam's head, and then Sam's head moves back, and then you see said character, and I went, ah. But yeah,
you couldn't have Falcon and the Winter Soldier
without the Winter Soldier,
and you couldn't have the thing of like we needed a Cap and a Bucky moment. We needed them to be in the film together, and it was like, no, he's doing Thunderbolts, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
because people have asked him like, excited to see you in Captain America: Brave New World. He's like, you mean Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts.
But
Thunderbolts, Brave New World.
But we got our moment. We got Bucky and Sam
in the same room.
I hate to admit it, but I'm glad to see they have that nice hug.
Yeah.
And soon to be Congressman James Buchanan Barnes.
Yeah, political James Barnes. Yeah.
Gives him some great advice. The serum didn't make a difference because I like that plays into the thread from the show. Does he take the serum? Does he not take the serum? Will he take it at some point? I don't know.
He doesn't need it, but because Bucky's the one that says to him and says like, "You don't need it. You're your own man. You're not Steve."
I mean, it would make him more durable when he fights aliens and
for sure,
otherworldly beings on Battleworld. He might need it then. Maybe he has it by then.
Technically, he'll have it in a suit,
and also he doesn't like
super soldier suit.
It's not going to make him evil. It's not going to John Walker him, so he's going to be fine
as far as we know. or if it's a gamma super soldier serum,
A gamma serum.
a
and he's
gamma
just
serum, a yellow Hulk,
big ripped Captain America Hulk.
with his
But,
goggles and wings still.
But yeah, basically, like you think having the serum will make you be able to save everyone you love. I had it. I got it. Steve had it. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
And then there's that whole thing of the spiel with the speech, and then he's like, "That was really good. Did your screenwriters, not just screenwriters, sorry, did your speech
That would have
writers,
been very
did your speech writers do that for you? Yeah, was it good? Was it good?
It was getting there, wasn't it?
There he goes, soon to be Congressman James Buchanan Bond. You know he's like 110 years old. I can work with that.
I can work with that.
There's a nice moment because Sebastian Stan, still a great fucking looking man.
Mega good looking man, yeah.
But yeah,
But
and
he,
that
ends,
also-
he ends that scene with like, "I love you, Sam." He doesn't. Sam, I think, almost says it back. That yeah, the fact that he actually ended it with, "Yeah, no, I love you, man." They literally hated each other across their first interaction with Civil War. The buddy cop thing in Falcon Winter Soldier,
Well, in
but
that-
actually him
there's
to
the
say,
joke-
"I love you, Sam." It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah, he's the joke. I like the joke in that. It's like we're just two guys with a mutual friend, and now the mutual friend's gone, so we're just two guys.
We're just two guys,
two brothers. Very interdimensional.
two
cable, like.
brothers, one America,
But
one shield.
it was really nice to see Bucky. Like I
He
really
was
liked it.
great. For me,
think-
it was the best bit of the movie.
I think there was some
highlight.
cut stuff from the trailer because I think,
Mm.
well, no, in the Thunderbolts trailer, sorry, you can see Bucky in the suit with the Congress pins on. So that's going to be a theme that runs through into that. That
Yeah.
a congressman's always also a superhero. Which when he eventually becomes president, which I think they will do, because if you're not going to have Bucky as Captain America or Cap's sidekick anymore, to have a president in
Fair enough. So idiot me that I wasn't aware of it. So Bucky becomes president of America.
I think that's
Captain
I
president.
think that's what they're angling for. In terms of
Okay.
he's going to be elected to Congress, and
Yeah.
then at some point,
He could become
Now
the man in the chair.
now that a president has basically put himself in the raft, the president now returned.
Willingly, of course.
Yeah, like given up his power and that, and there was a very real undertone of this is what you should have done, Trump. To a lot of that, wasn't there? Like, it's nice to see someone like you take responsibility for his actions, give up his power, and accept his sentence. It's like that's
Yes.
the fucking dig at Trump if ever I've seen it.
Yeah.
Very unsubtle,
Yeah.
especially in the world we are living in, because until
Right now.
2028, at least, we're stuck with this man. Please don't change the fucking amendment and stay longer. But
Yeah.
yes. So that was very unsubtle. You see, if there's a president that's done wrong, he should take responsibility for his actions. That's the only bit that I was like, that's
real
That's
world
what you did
right
there,
there.
yeah.
That's going into
I'm
a
watching
brave
this
new
for
world.
escapism, you bastards.
We're wishing for that brave new world.
Please. If Anthony Mackie can actually save us from the real president, would be nice.
Call Sebastian Stan.
No, not save us from Sebastian Stan. Both of them can
No.
save us from the president.
But Sebastian Stan has it because he's played
been-
the
he's
man.
been the president.
He's been the enemy.
He's been the president.
He's been the enemy.
behind enemy lines.
Well, yes.
Can you imagine if Sebastian Stan in that film was actually playing the Winter Soldier, playing Trump?
That's
Like,
why. Yeah, can't that be a thing?
Because have you seen that thing that Joe Biden signed with a talent agency?
No.
And it
I
made me
haven't,
think
no.
of, and I couldn't find a good gif of it. But do you remember the long shot where Bob Odenkirk's? So you're gonna not run for president because you want to be in movies. He's like, yes,
Yes.
but he wants to play the president, like because he plays the president on telly as well, doesn't he? It's like that, just things like that kind of bullshit. Anyway, fuck American politics, please. But yeah, so he's going to be elected to Congress, we assume. So it'd be nice to see how that plays into Thunderbolts. And also,
Yeah.
if he becomes the big man at the top, the president, having a sitting president who is and was a superhero,
Yeah.
means that you're not going to have the issues of, we got to get, the president's got to sign off on what you're doing, because Bucky would be like, Sam, whatever you
I
think,
am the president.
whatever you think you need to do, go do it,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. You get the ultimate Avengers seal of approval.
The seal of
But
approval ends before the credits with Miss Betty Ross. I would stay and chat, but I hear you got another visit. That was a nice, sweet moment in terms of Betty gets so many mentions of she doesn't believe I've changed, chasing Banner and things like that. And I just want her to remember that I'm still a dad that took her to see the cherry blossom and things like that.
And again, how that all went.
Because they speak briefly
Played
on
up.
the phone, and I was like, "Is that actually Liv Tyler?" And
Is
was,
that
'cause
just
Liv-
Liv Tyler? But I thought that could have just been it. I thought that was it. The
Yeah, that
phone
could have
call
been
was
it.
going to be it.
And then she goes to see him in prison, and they have like we could just chat, and he's like, "I'd like that very much," and that's a nice, sweet thing to end on it. And I
Yeah.
like how their relationship, because Feige and stuff have spoken about, like, you know, how is their relationship now that, you know, they are Captain America and the President, as opposed to Secretary Ross, who, like, because he talks about when he's saying about reforming the Avengers, and Sam's like, "But you signed the Sokovia Accords." He's like, "Yeah, but now I'm a president for all of America, not just my own personal
Personal
preferences."
gains. Yeah.
So there is some significant character growth, and I think Harrison Ford did a really good job. Whether he was the diva on set or not, I think it really fucking
It
worked. and I
absolutely
liked
was a
it.
cash in, but a cash in paycheck done mostly right for the right part. There's no like, oh, he did it for the money, he needed the money. It's probably the first thing. He probably did need some income, considering the last couple of projects he's been in has been bombs or not great big successes. But Harrison Ford, if you ever want to do another Marvel movie and do it for more money, I'd say yes, fucking please.
Yes.
Bring the same level of care and interest and surprises.
Have him be like a roommate of Justin Hammer in prison. Because when we finally get Armor Wars, the movie,
well,
I think they should have just carried on making it a TV show, because it would have been out by now. And I'm still interested to see that story.
you would have just seen it.
But now, with the success of this, maybe they'll be like, well, we've had a look at what the Captain
We've
America
reinvigorated.
successor has done.
Yeah, exactly.
So where is our Iron Man successor at the minute? And then we go.
And we're getting that in the form of teenage Ironheart.
I'm
But
not- in terms of Ironheart, yeah, that's a completely new story, and Tony Stark will end up being her AI in her suit, probably.
I'm sure.
I'm not surprised. But
Mm.
yeah, I want Armor Wars, whether it be movie or TV
You
show.
know what?
Let's get the
Twist.
follow up now.
It won't be Robert Downey Jr. It'll be Terrence Howard in the suit. It'll be
Next time,
multiverse.
baby.
It'll be multiversal Rhodey.
Oh,
in
can you
the
imagine?
suit.
Can you imagine if in Secret Wars, like, you've got a War Machine, Terrence Howard, and Rhodey just like beheads him?
Boom! You're looking for this.
It's only ever. I was going to say.
Terrence Howard
I was
should
gonna
go. Boom! You're looking
I
for
was
this.
going to say there's only one Rhodey. There's only going to be one Rhodey, like Blade style, and then he like fucking rocket launches them. But no, that would be even better. That would be even better to do that. But all in all, I think the only thing that hurts this film is that the third act was essentially all in the trailers, because the fight's good. It's creative in terms of, like, Sam has had the shit kicked out of him and he's knackered and he's not had the serum, but he's fucking holding his own.
He's human. He isn't OP like some of the
Yeah.
other cosmic gods and deities that we've had in this cinematic universe. Like, he is very
Sometimes
much
he does just have to
us.
run or fly away. You know what I mean? But I always felt like when it come to the end of the show and in this, when like this was announced, it's like, is it going to be too dependent on like the wings being like the thing?
Yeah, the OP
And
thing.
but there is
Yeah.
a lot of just him fighting without them as well, which I think is
Yeah,
good enough.
which is
And
good.
his
Yeah.
new uses of throws and like combats with the shield, I think, is interesting. And
There's a lot of
does its best
handstand
to-
choreography. There's a lot of handstand.
it does its best to differentiate from Cap's fight.
Absolutely,
The Steve
absolutely.
Rogers Cap fighting style.
Yeah.
Because this guy's Cap now, and he's doing it his
His own
own
way, for sure.
Yeah.
He's not just straight up copying the moveset
yeah.
and the repertoire.
But no, I really fucking dug this. Had it been in
Okay.
Phase 4 when it probably should have come
Should have
out,
been.
because the post-credit scene is
Yeah,
pointless.
readjusting this whole timeline, like, I'm very much want to do this as a
Yeah.
full-on thing, because, this,
Maybe we can do
this
that.
should have been earlier, a million percent.
This should have been like third or fourth film of Phase 4.
Yeah,
Like,
for
we've
sure.
introduced some new elements. Now let's check back in on what our old guys are
What
doing.
established us.
Yeah. Yeah, but also like it's a legacy character in itself, so you're still getting that handover, but it's with a character that we've been with and grown for like 10 years, and we can see what he's up to. But yeah,
Yeah.
because the post-credit scene is Sam Stearns telling Cap that you think you're the only
You think
world,
you're the only world universe.
when you have to
Bitch, have you heard of Sony?
see where you have to defend it from the others, and
The
that
others.
feels very the start of a phase.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But then when we've had
Yeah.
to depend on Ant-Man and Loki setting up Kang, and then I
For
believe
that to change.
what they're
halfway
going to go with is that, you know, Loki's actions in season 2 prevent Kang from becoming
through.
Kang,
Absolutely.
or you're going to have just Doctor Doom kill him and steal his technology. Because where you've
Or in Fantastic Four, not to cut you
Yeah,
off
that's
at all, bit of trailer editing. There was a couple of, like, again, New Rockstars and other channels have sort of said there was a couple of awkward stumble in Susan's walk, and there's a brief shot of Susan in a room with, well, not quite a fully framed object, but possibly a baby cot. And they're saying
well,
Vanessa
apparently
Kirby, the
she's
bad-
pregnant at the
Yeah.
beginning of the film.
Is that then whichever way it is, Franklin or Nathaniel, who then becomes or is related to the Kang character.
Nathaniel Richards is Kang, or
Yeah.
like the
Or
but
is,
he's a
is
few
it
down the
Reed,
line,
is
isn't
it Reed's dad that's related to Kang, or is Reed? Well, not Reed
It's Reed's
himself. It's either
descendant.
Reed's kids that is Kang, or it's Reed's
Reed's kids. It's
ancestors.
descendants.
It's
like,
either that
further-
way or
it's
that way.
in his future, like kids,
Yeah.
kids kind of thing.
Great grandchild.
Which
Is
I'm a
Kang.
bit annoyed about because I wanted just the Fantastic Four before you bring in the kids. But Marvel will do what Marvel will do. I'm sure it'll be great whatever we fucking see.
Either way, that it's either that's going to be like the beginning of the movie, out comes the baby, or that's going to be the post credit.
Maybe. I'm
For Fantastic Four 2.
Fantastic 42.
Fantastic 42.
42ers.
The life, the universe, the meaning of everything, and that's going to be the secret multiverse or
And
ending
Basil
movie.
40 will be in it.
And Basil
42
42
Towers.
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just placement, I think, and the trailers giving it away stops it from being a
A
perfect
true surprise.
movie. But
Yeah,
it's still a solid 8 out of 10, possibly.
I'd give it an 8. Yeah, an 8 was what I landed on initially.
Yeah, mine's an 8. Yeah, it could go higher, but
could.
I don't think it would go lower. I had
Yeah.
a really good time with it. Because the post credit scene is Sam Stern saying when you defend it from the other worlds, but like that should be at the beginning of the phase when you're setting up this is where we're heading, because we know that they got the single movies done and we're like, well, these movies we're making that could lead to an Avengers film, right? We've got to an Avengers film. Let's put out a thread for the big thing we're going to build to, which is the Infinity Saga.
The others are
Ending.
coming. You then could have had Multiverse of Madness before your No Way Home.
That's the thing. If like the other worlds are coming,
Mm.
then you have like your Multiverse of Madness, your No Way Homes, your Miss fucking Captain the Marvels. She ends up in the Fox. The Fox thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get your
Deadpool, Wolverine.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's that whole thing of that you build towards that, and it's a
Yeah,
thing.
Loki season 1 can happen in between all of that, and then after you Deadpool,
Yeah,
Wolverine,
in
you then
between
get
it-
Loki being a tree.
in between it concurrently, and kind of like
Yeah.
that. Because then obviously like the setting up of the Avengers need to come back together, and it's not just fuck we got to reassemble next year. It's like
in 12 months.
because it's then the thing of
Yeah.
like then you would learn what happened to the Avengers
Everyone else.
Tower, like what
Mm.
the others are doing in that film, what your Hulks and things like that. Where it's going to go?
Where the Guardians at, the Wanda family, the Vision family, like
Yeah.
where are they? You've got the Guardians doing their thing. You've got
Yeah,
Wakandans
because then it
doing
would have
their
all
thing.
sort of like but then that's
flowed better.
focusing on doing a lot of things new or handing off to other characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Not getting back to new characters that we've liked yet.
I mean, you've got Doctor Strange and Clear in another dimension somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that going to have any
We're now
effect?
3 years off from that,
Yeah.
because that's what everyone was saying also with Multiverse of Madness is like, while it's also a multiverse movie, like for us, for the diehard Doctor Strange fans, it's also a Doctor Strange sequel, so you still want it to be a Doctor Strange film where it was that to a point, apart from the big cameo circus in the middle.
Yeah.
But it still is essentially like a sequel. Like I want a sequel to Shang-Chi, I want a sequel to this.
Mm.
Are we going to get it before Doomsday or Secret Wars? I doubt it.
I know.
It's a shame, well, especially when you got Destin Daniel Cretton was, going to be the director of Kang Dynasty, which I think was going to be good to see a different director do an Avengers film.
Hmm.
And obviously then Shang-Chi and the rings and everything would have played a part in that because it was all angled towards Kang. They're now, instead of recasting, then they've just reshuffled it so that now they've got to pivot to a new supervillain that we've not even had mentioned or seen yet.
Yeah.
By this point next year, he will be the main villain of the Avengers.
And he'll
Whereas
be a
at least
doctor of doom and
At
destruction.
least if you'd have just recast Kang,
Yeah.
it would have just been, well, we've seen what Kang can do. Whether it would have been the one defeated by Ant-Man or it was another version, like it would have built back up that, and you would have seen just how dangerous he is. Whereas now it's like you've pivoted towards something else. You've got the old directors back in, and you've got Robert Downey Jr. back, which on the face of it to a lot of us seems like let's just get bums back on
And Chris
seats.
Evans is very likely to return for Doomsday as
I
well.
don't think he is.
No.
I think he's one of the ones that are like maybe as
Something.
maybe as a Johnny Storm kind of thing again.
Another cameo.
But I
I
don't
don't think we'll be getting two Chris Evans.
I think Chris Evans is sensible with the fact that he's happy that
Sensible.
like he could have carried on and come back again, but he's also like, no, I'm kind of done with my stories to tell. Unless it was something really interesting, I don't think he's going to come back. And I applaud him for that if that is true.
Yeah.
But
Everyone could be doing a Andrew Garfield for all we know.
They could all be
They're
like-
not in it. They're not in it.
it could all be
They're
done.
not in
We won't know until we see it.
We're not in it.
But it's the fact that it seems like a. But look, we got the guys that directed Infinity War and Endgame, and you love those films, and we got Robert Downey Jr. back, and it just feels very sort of. It's a lot of treading water that you were doing in Phase 4 to be like, okay, now we're committing. It's the multiverse saga, it's Kang Dynasty, and it's Secret Wars. And it's like, oh, because of real life events, we can't use Jonathan Majors, so Kang's just out the fucking window.
He's gone,
and we've just sort of like carried on, like, but we're building towards the multiverse thing. But we've not got a figurehead for them to fight. It's not like when you had Thanos here, Thanos there, just seeing him and knowing. But now it's like we've not seen anything, and we're likely to not see Doctor Doom until
unless he's
a little bit in Fantastic Four, and that's about it.
Unless he is Victor Von Kang,
maybe
Robert Downey Kang Jr.
Or he does what Ultron when Ultron ripped through his own head. He does that.
Yeah,
he just does that to Kang through the back of a body double, so you don't have to pay Jonathan Majors any money. It's just like
he just does it. Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Victor Von Kang.
It's one of those moments where I'm like, I love the MCU and I love what it's given us and the continued storytelling and the fact that it's basically a really long television show, but
with roughs and bumps in between.
It makes me sort of almost yearn for the old days of we would have just had another Captain America trilogy and it wouldn't have had to link to anything. Like you would have had your Spider-Man things carry on and all that. But we will see where Sam and Joaquin end up in their next adventure. Hopefully,
Battleworld.
We see more of them before we venture to Battleworld and fight Doom and all that stuff.
Oh, it's only fair. It's only fair that Sebastian Stan came to visit Falcon. So why can't Falcon visit, or Captain America visit,
or at least Cap get a shout out in Thunderbolt?
Yeah,
that would be interesting to see. But what did you guys think of Captain America: Brave New World?
Are we in the Brave?
Is it a hit or is it shit?
Wow, is it a hit or is it shit?
Yeah. It was
hit
fan bloody-tastic.
Were you fan of the politics?
More surprising, yeah. For all those that were like, "Oh, it's crap and it's all this and it's all that," it doesn't.
Really isn't.
I can't see it
compared to the other crap that we've had.
Nowhere near.
No, it really isn't. It's the first sort of normal MCU movie, which is in a new kind of normal.
It feels like it's sort of just like, let's just do a good Captain America movie and the rest will follow. It feels a bit like sort of when they did Iron Man 1 in terms of let's just make this work.
Yeah,
and then we'll worry about the rest later, which they should have been doing for ages, but they overstretched themselves, got too greedy. 4 films and 4 series a year, and it was just a bit too much. But now, hopefully,
they can sort themselves out.
Well, especially Superman's starting up a universe of its own, and I don't know how much more tolerance people have for watching more than one universe. Because
is competition the key to success these days?
It should be, because competition should breed.
Or is it just going to flatten everyone out?
And it will know.
And is Superman doing the too many things at once? Because it's Superman plus the Green Lantern early JLA. Is it going to do the one in one movie?
Yeah, instead of it just being like the Iron Man, where it's like, because it's this guy and you're part of a bigger world.
It's going to be the Fantastic Four, where it's an already established movie. It's not just, I'm Clark Kent, I'm raised by the Kents, and now I've got powers. It's an already established Superman.
Yeah.
It's like the Fantastic Four. They're already who they are. It's not going to be the very beginnings, but you're already in the Superman universe where I'm Superman, here's my Green Lantern friend, oh look, there's a woman from Themyscira over there, oh look, there's a super dog, what else is there in it? I'm just is Superman going to be doing too much for its own formula in one movie?
Possibly.
But around the same time as Fantastic Four.
Did you guys like Brave New World? Are you looking forward to more brave new things from Brave New Captain America?
Yes, bottom line, yes, absolutely.
But Connor, where can the good people find us if they want to talk about this or other things?
Well, unfortunately, not in the White House. But you can find us over at Blue Sky, Twitch, again, because we mentioned Twitch a couple times, and IDs and stuff will be below, along with copyrighted sounds like that.
Right.
Say sorry, it's your video. It's your content, damn it.
It's our content.
Yeah, ours. Sorry.
X people.
Facebook, not Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, all the appropriate places. You guys do it better than me. Send over your movie reviews of Brave New World and what Brave New Universe you want to have in terms of Marvel. You can talk about real life if you want, but Brave New Marvel Cinematic Universe you'd like after Secret Wars and Doomsday and Secret Wars at nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com. And, Send us your idea for a Captain America sequel as well. We've had Captain America and Hulk in a movie, or a Hulk. What would you like in Captain America 5? What Avenger should they pair along next?
And until then, we'll see you next week.
Stay political and pasty.
Stay falconized.
God bless.
God bless
Falcon.
Sam Wilson, Captain America.
Falcon.
Fuck yeah, Captain America.